Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be making some fluffy chicken and dumplings. So I posted a video back in 2020, I believe, where I made roll chicken and dumplings. So that was a little different what I'm doing tonight. Though I should mention sooner or later I'm going to be uploading a new video of the roll dumplings because I have significantly improved the process since then. But tonight we're going to be focusing on fluffy chicken and dumplings. So I've been boiling this chicken leg quarter for quite a while now, and I must say I do suggest using leg quarters for chicken and dumplings chicken and dumplings or soups because of course the bone, it really just adds a lot of flavor to the broth. So this is, let's say, about ready to shred up. So we'll get this shredded up and then I'll start on the process of making the dumplings. And of course I always like to wait till it's nearly falling off the bone. It's really good and tender. Let's see, we're right there with this one. Good and tender, that's what we want. Okay, so we got our chicken off the bone now. Let's go and return it back to the pot. And move on to the next steps. Okay, for these dumplings we're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg beaten, and a cup of milk. So we'll start out with the dry ingredients first. So 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and I'm actually going to add garlic powder to this. So this is a recipe I actually found on the internet. Now I'm making sort of my own tweaks too. Now I just need to go ahead and mix up the dry ingredients. Okay, so now I'm going to crack an egg. So we're going to beat this egg and add the milk in a separate bowl, and then we'll combine the two together. Alright, let's add our cup of milk. And we're going to mix that up real well. And yes, I am actually using a drill as my mixer here. And I have this set of attachments that I bought off Amazon for like around $15 or so. You get this, you get a whisk, and you get a dough hook. Link will be available in the video description. That way, if you got a drill that's just sitting around in your shed or in your workshop that's not getting used hardly ever, you can put it to work in your kitchen. Okay, so for this step we won't be using the drill to mix, as the directions call for you to mix these together with a fork. So we'll go ahead and pour this into the center. There's a little bit of a well in the center. And this you will need to mix by hand. Don't want to overmix it. Just get the two together. Okay, so our batter for the dumplings is ready to go. Now we just need to go ahead and get our chicken in a broth ready. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and add some water to this, because we lost a bit of water during boiling the chicken. That was about 4 cups I added. Adjust our heat back up to high. And while that comes up to temperature, we're going to add some better than bouillon. Okay, so now that this has come up to a boil, we'll go ahead and begin dropping in our dumpling batter. So the way I'm going to do this is I am going to use a small spoon and I'm going to spray it with some non-stick cooking spray, such as this here, olive oil cooking spray. So I've also reduced heat. Let's begin dropping this in. Okay, going to give these a little stir. We'll set a timer for about 4 minutes. The recipe actually calls for 10 minutes uncovered and then 10 minutes covered, but we've spent several minutes putting dumplings in there. So once that timer runs down, we'll cover this up and go for about another 10 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm going to add some basil and some parsley. Give this a good stir. Try to get those herbs spread out. Okay, so we're getting close to our timer ending, so I've turned the heat down to a lower setting. Turn down a little bit lower. The idea is that these hopefully will not boil over when they're covered up. So I'm going to put this on here, make sure the vent's open also. I'm going to crack it just a little bit. And we'll set our timer for 10 minutes. And the idea is you do not want to peak. But we also don't want this to boil over too, so we'll let this run for 10 minutes. Okay, so our timer's about to run out. You can see here we are. I did adjust the heat down a bit more. And good, none are sticking to the bottom. Okay, so that's it. They are done. Now, one thing you could do if necessary is you could add, let's say, a half cup of flour if you want to thicken up the broth. However, I don't think it's really as necessary with these as it is with the roll dumplings that I make now. But you can see that's a pretty simple way to make chicken and dumplings. That doesn't involve having to roll them out and all that good stuff. Easy for a, well, somewhat quick meal. I mean, you do have to, of course, boil the chicken, but I mean, if you were to grab a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, it could be a pretty quick meal. There you have it. Now this broth will thicken up a little bit as they cool. So anyways, that's how you can make fluffy chicken and dumplings. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.